I challenge you, talk to someone who's in their 60s, their 70s. They'll always say that they wish they should have saved more when they were younger because it's hard to be dependent on your relatives. It's hard to be dependent on other people when you're older. Take control of your own financial destiny today. Hey guys, so in this video, I want to give you a couple of reasons why it's a good idea to start investing now, even if there's uncertainty. Well, the main narrative is that you have to build a base, you have to start investing while you are at the prime of your years. So I want to give you a couple of reasons, but then again, after this, do your own due diligence, research, and try to figure out if this is something that works for you. Because here's the thing, when you get older, you will always look back and thank yourself for starting to save and invest early. So reason number one, because it's all about compounding interest. The more you start early, the more you give yourself the ability to let your money work hard for you. The power of compounding interest. You have to realize this, that when you put your money and as it earns and you start to reinvest that, the earnings from the earnings of the earnings that you have will grow massively versus if you delay it and wait a longer period of time before you start to invest. If you say start in your 20s versus you start in your 30s or you start in your 40s, what you put in while in your 20s by starting early, and it doesn't have to be much, will be significantly more versus you putting in more when you are in your 40s. Why? Because when you start early, you allow time to make your money grow for you. You allow time to make your money compound as well. And here's the thing, when you let time make your money work hard for you, that's something that you can never take back anymore. Why? Each time you waste, each time that you don't let your money compound or work hard for you, is money lost. It's money that you cannot take back anymore. Investments can be made and lost, but time, you can never gain that back. Always place a great preference on time above everything else. And time invested is not wasted. Number two, long-term growth potential. The younger you are, the greater your ability to be able to take risks. 2023, I'm gonna turn 40 the next few months, and the risks that I could take right now, closing into my 40s, would be so much different already than the risks that I could have taken when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. Here's the thing, when I was in my 20s, I was living with my parents, I had a job, I had savings, but right now also, I have a wife, I have a kid. Although I'm investing in assets that are riskier, if I was just starting out right now and didn't have any investments, I wouldn't have the ability to go all in on those investments because I had to take care of my base. I had to take care of protecting myself should things go bad. But if you're young, there's a lot more things that you can do, especially if you're single and you have lesser responsibilities and if there's lesser people counting and depending on you. So that allows you to be able to go and attach yourself to riskier investments that you have seen also perform well given longer time horizon. If you're younger, you can take riskier bets because you have time on your side. Those are things that people who are older can't do. I challenge you, talk to someone who's in their 60s, their 70s. They'll always say that they wish they should have saved more when they were younger because it's hard to be dependent on your relatives. It's hard to be dependent on other people when you're older. Take control of your own financial destiny today while you have the ability to be able to save a lot and while you are very, very productive. Do that by investing and putting it in assets that will grow for the long term. Highly connected to that's number three. When you're younger, you have the ability to be able to experience and learn and take on more risk because you have the ability to be able to see it through and to check if it's something that works out for you. That's not the case with people who are older already because they have to be more precise in the way they execute their investments. And that's what I did also when I was younger. I kept on experimenting. Majority of the investments that I tried, even the way I would save also, my main intention for those things were not just for me to be able to earn, but my main intention for those things was what can I learn from this? Because if I knew I had the ability to learn from it, later on, if I become good at it, then I would actually earn. While you're young, maximize your ability to learn, because that will increase your capacity also to earn later on, because you can make a lot of mistakes when you're younger without really jeopardizing a large part of your future. When you're younger, you could recover from more downturns, and this is what a lot of people don't really talk about, because even if you invest at the peak of the market but your time horizon is long, you'll be able to survive it. Why? Because if your time horizon is long, once it drops, you have the ability to stack and add a lot. Or if you don't have the ability to stack and add a lot, you just have to wait. The longer you wait, you will actually see it also recover. And I've made so many videos about this, talking about markets are cyclical, that a recovery always happens, that it will always go back up, especially for assets that are game-changing and really good, or stocks that are really, really good as well. They'll bounce back. If your time horizon is long, you have the ability to maximize that. You have the ability to take advantage of that. You have the ability to be able to experience that. And you have the ability to also see that, hey, long-term investing actually works. Don't waste your time not saving and investing. Don't waste your time not putting it in assets that matter, regardless if it's stocks or crypto or real estate, or starting your own business, or putting in something that will give you a certain amount of risk but will give you the ability to be able to learn. Because after every long downturn, you will experience also upward trends, upward movements. But the more you start investing now, and the more you realize how important it is, the more you will be able to weather downturns, and the more you will also realize that downturns are the ability for you to be able to build life-changing volume as well. And highly connected to that also is this: if you're young, you have the ability to rake in larger amounts of return that older people cannot take, because as what I've said earlier, the younger you are, the more risk you take. The older you are, the lesser risk you take, and the lesser risk you take also, the lesser amount of money you can earn, because investments like that are generally safer. In my early 20s, even in my early 30s, I just kept on experimenting. I know I'm a bit older. I know I'm turning 40 this year, but in spite of me being older, I know my risk profile, and I've developed that and I've learned that by experimenting and learning more also while I was younger. And also, I know already what to double down on. I know also what already to avoid, because I already also have a sample size based on my mistakes when I was also younger. The only time you'll be able to do that and maximize that is when you start investing now. Because if you wait until you get promoted, you wait until you get that new shiny job, you wait until you get higher earnings, you don't develop a skilling, and then you'll end up wishing and waiting also for the next perfect time. It's not just about timing or figuring out where the top is, but it's also spending time, because the longer you spend time, it will make up for your mistakes, it will make up for your lack of experience, it will make up also for your lack of knowledge. As much as a lot of people want to time the market, focus on how you can build a base and life-changing volume while you're accumulating, and while you're stacking, and while you're at the prime of your years. Because ultimately, even if you don't earn a lot, but if you stack a lot and you set aside a lot, I think that's what will matter the most in the grand scheme of things. That will be able to also provide for your future, that will also give you the ability to have enough funds when you're older. And please do remember this, that financial freedom isn't having this and that and this and that, but it's really having the ability to live life at your own term, the ability to do what you want, when you want, the ability to be able to have the peace of mind that even if something bad happens, or if sickness happens, you would be able to weather it and not just survive, but also thrive. Let COVID, the lockdowns, whatever we saw in the past 3 years, be an encouragement and a lesson for us that we need to take care of our finances today, that we need to take control of our financial destiny. I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope that this was something that was helpful. This is Marvingermo. Everything you need to know about me are in the description below. My books, my seminars, my thousands of videos in this channel. I hope that this is something that helped you and gave you massive value. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.